DJ EC3, and this is episode 171 of Keep Grinding, the podcast. I am back with my co-host,
Tony Donez here, guys.
And there's going to be a 170. It's going to drop today. We're just recording and just stockpiling what we got going on.
Man.
Off the great When Life Gives You Lemons atmosphere, episode. How did you feel about that?
Man, went back and listened again. Was actually showing some of the songs to Melissa because I forgot. Like, she loves the storytelling type shit. So Waitress was a song that she really dug. And yeah, man, I think what this whole podcast has done is remind me to go back and listen to shit that I really enjoyed and just don't always get back to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And When Life Gives You Lemons was definitely one of those.
And like that middle part of the episode was really, I felt like those were the songs for us. I think we really enjoyed. And another album that we're going to talk about now, man. D, what's in the deck today?
We're in our white rapper phase of what's in the deck. We got Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP,
released May 23rd, 2000. What a time, dude!
Wow,
25 years ago, almost. Man, today. Yeah, it was 25 years ago. And just for the record, this is the 11th episode of What's in the Deck.
Damn, we're almost teenagers.
Hey, dude, this is one hell of an album to start off that 11th episode.
Yes, sir.
I will say, with all the episodes we've done so far, man, I felt like, Run DMC was the one that would lay the foundation for your love of hip hop.
Yep.
That 2001 was kind of put me like, I'm listening to it different in my ear.
Yeah.
I know with the Chance album, that was kind of his uprise to I guess not to the mainstream, but just to that to that level.
Yeah, that next level of as an artist.
Nas's comeback album.
Yep.
Ye's getting developed. People started to take him seriously. Me Against the World, Tupac at his back against the wall.
Yep.
And with this one, I could really say of the 11 episodes we've done, we're listening to something that's phenomenal in his prime.
Yes.
Don't know if there's any other better Eminem album with the Marshall Mathers LP.
It is. It's a banger, dude. It's funny because listening to it, like I said, we mention this all the time. It's coming from a different perspective now, at a different age in life. So I hear it a whole lot different. I look at it differently, and I'm the type of dude, like, I wish I could just listen to something and enjoy it for what it is, but I always go way in depth and give it way too much thought, and that's just kind of how I am. And I found myself doing a lot of thinking and a lot of digging around when I was listening to this one, and it was pretty cool, kind of seeing where he was at that point of his life and kind of comparing it to where he is now. It's pretty cool, man.
And this when this came out, this is 1.78 million in the first week.
Wow!
I don't think people even could fathom that. I can't even fathom. I was around at the time, but just didn't have an idea of like this was the biggest album in hip hop since probably Doggy Style. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah. And I don't even remember Doggy Style getting this kind of rollout either. But those guys like Snoop and those guys, they didn't have that access to MTV the way M did. And he's always fully acknowledged the privilege that being white has given him, and being able to step onto TRL and shit like that, it took his level of fame to like shit that hip hop maybe didn't even know.
This made kids in Indiana, kids in Kansas, rap fans and rap connoisseurs, where they're like, I'm a part of it. Maybe, I don't know if it's a negative or positive. Who am I, right? I'm a Mexican boy, but I feel like a lot of people were now involved in this culture and got a way in. They would have never got in, I guess, without Eminem, right? And that's a beautiful thing now. We talk about it. Yep. I don't know if that was accepted back in the day.
It was, but there was a gatekeeper. There was a gatekeeper in hip hop. I don't know who it was, but there was definitely, like, you had to earn your way in. You had to kind of show that you knew your shit, and you weren't a poser, that you were a real fan. And I think that's part of what he does on this album. Like, he has always acknowledged the history of hip hop. Like, he's never been fake about it. You get your kind of classic, stereotypical white rap fan, what was the dude, Beverly Hills, whatever. There's just that typical, kind of corny
casual
white
fan.
rap. Well, not even that. It's just the dude who's trying too hard to be hip hop. You know, he's got his hat cocked to the side and all
like
that.
my guy. Oh,
B-Rad.
B-Rad. Yeah.
So you get that, and
yeah, man, the white rapper.
And M came in, and while he was always true to himself and he did wild shit, he never went outside to be like try too hard to be hip hop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was always within who he was as a person, and I think that's what really gave him the respect in hip hop that he still has.
And we see it from the opening track, man, "Kill You." And I know we have the intros and all that. We could probably skip those, but "Kill You," man, comes off, and it's probably one of the most memorable opening tracks that I've heard in a long time. And I've always loved, when I was just a little baby boy, Mama used to tell me these great. That harmonized Eminem is really out here on here a lot, bro.
Oh yeah. First thing I noticed though is that Dre on production, but tailoring it to M's sound.
Yeah, man.
Because you always hear about Dre as a producer, and it's his way, and you got to rap the way he wants you to. Mm-hmm. And I think this one might have been one of the first examples of like, I got this guy, and he's doing this thing, and I got to make beats for him.
Yeah, I got
specifically for him. And you hear this through the whole thing, but that really struck me right away.
And he comes, they say I can't rap about being broke no more. They say I can't rap about coke no more. Slut, you think I won't choke no more? So if chords don't work in the throat no more? This shock rap is really amazing when you break it down, because that's what I say. He's at his prime because he's saying some crazy.
Wow.
The words are wild, but the rhyme schemes.
Yeah.
He gets in these pockets, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mentioned pockets a couple times in my notes here, but like it's funny because the shock value is there, but it wasn't completely new in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Lynch was doing shit like this a long time ago. Gravediggers, they were X-rated, sure. Big Lurch, dudes like that who were doing all this stuff. But M had such a crazy platform and this fan base, and he had, like I said, MTV, which MTV actually showed music back in the days, guys, and it was kind of the hub of all things music. And so, like the fact that he was there all the time and he had access to MTV and throwing this kind of shock rap out there, like it was wild. Like it was a thing that wasn't so normal as it is now. Like, there was no social media and all that shit. You watch TV to find out what was cool, and all of a sudden you had this white dude out here talking about crazy shit. And as we go on in the album, there's a wild shit.
Like,
there's some lines that are like, wow.
There's some stuff like this is after My Name Is Guilty Conscience, which were hits,
right?
And then here comes that 2001. They just blew them up and forgot about Dre.
Yeah.
And the original Bitch Please. That was like on Snoop's. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Forgot about Dre. Like M's made some really memorable appearances just 6 months before when they dropped The Chronic 2000. This dropped 6 months after that, which is crazy to think about. This is the Dr. Dre. This is that aftermath era, and it's like
that whole just Interscope era.
Yeah, and M just literally killed it with the words, and he said things that I think it was for you can start talking about my shit.
Yeah,
look how crazy I wanted to go. He talks about raping his mother and shit like that. It's on this album. Yeah. This song is we dig it. Yeah. It's crazy.
Definitely, and I think too, like the kind of a general theme of the album is dealing with fame and dealing with and. I don't know how old he was here, but he was young. And so like, I think about it now, like what would my life be like if I'm dealing with this kind of fame at like 23, 24 years old? And it's like, people are like, yeah, he didn't know how to handle it. I don't know if anybody really does know how to handle it.
28 years old.
Oh, well, he's a little bit older, but still like coming from nothing to having everything kind of overnight. That's wild, man.
Yeah, man. No, at this level too, he couldn't go as you hear in the way I am, he couldn't go to the stall without someone stopping him and shit,
It's wild.
No, and then again, we always say that third verse too, man, just one of those memorable ones. I'll choke a radio announcer to bouncer from a fat bitch straw 70,000 pounds of a principal to stew body and counselor. Like, he says the way I know it's shock value, but I really got to appreciate what he's saying.
It's funny. I put in the notes his ability to rhyme words and is unmatched. Like he just takes it to a whole nother level. It doesn't even have to make sense all the time. Just his ability to manipulate the English language to make rhymes is wild. It's something that nobody else in hip hop can do.
I love when he says, "Okay, I'm ready to play. I got the shade from OJ. I'm ready to make everyone's throat ache." Like, and he loves to drop fucking fire the word faggot more than I've heard in a long time.
Yes,
he says that faggot was like the word to say.
Yeah.
Pause, man.
Dude, I haven't heard that word and the word retard that much in my life.
Yeah, man, it's been forever.
You know, well, I shouldn't say in my life, but it's been a long time since I heard that just thrown around so willy nilly.
25 years ago,
a little shocking.
Yeah,
it was a little shocking.
The next track is probably one of the best. We were just talking about his documentary, Stan. One of the great. They talk about storytelling music.
Yes,
They just separated him from what he was doing. I feel like this really took him to an elite level.
Yeah.
With this song.
Yeah. Crossover hit, but for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, there's times where hip hop crosses over to mainstream, and it's like, because it's kind of cheesy and it's too accessible, and it's, you know, oh, my mom can listen to this song. No, this was pure hip hop that crossed over because the creativity couldn't be denied by anybody.
And the music video compliments.
The video,
the music
perfect.
video.
The beat is perfect. The samples perfect. Like this, I wrote. This might be one of the few completely perfect songs in hip hop.
It's I don't know when this dropped, but it was number 13 on the VH1 Top 100 Hip Hop Songs.
Wow, I might even go higher than that. Like it's just
can.
Amazing. Like to be so influential of a song that it literally created a word in the fucking dictionary.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it made it into a word. Like it's something that we use regularly. Like my wife called somebody a Stan the other day. You know what I mean? Like it's wild, but just such creativity, such the writing from somebody else's perspective, answering the letter, all of it, man. So
and just the way he talks about it, it is kind of dated. We're talking about we're stamping letters now. We'll put the put the mailing letters on. This is what we
handwriting it.
You know, left my pager and my home phone at the bottom. Like this
pager.
Like it's I remember I heard about your Uncle Ronnie too. I'm sorry, I had a bitch kill himself somewhere. I had a what the hell do you say? I had a friend kill himself over some bitch who didn't want him. Like those type of things. I remember listening to it as a kid, like, damn, I didn't know people really did that.
Right.
It kind of opened up my eyes a little bit to like self-harm, and it was crazy. Then just to kind of get, like you said, the perspective of somebody. Eminem's rapping it, but he's rapping as his friends, his fan Stan. And just to see I think this has 4 verses, bro. Yeah. It's 4 verses, and damn, not many could do that now, bro, and have a classic on their hands.
And release it as a single. You imagine somebody releasing a 4 verse as a single?
Verses, dude,
that's wild. Man. But it also, like, to come off of a Kill You that is purely for shock value, not purely, but a lot of shock value, 100%. To go into this intricate storytelling that's not shock value at all. It's a real story that he's telling, and you can tell he's got his own experiences in there as far as dealing with fans and everything. Just crazy talent. Just shows his range of, I can go out there and just say wild shit, or I can tell you a story, and I'm going to do both at a fucking high level.
And I haven't seen the doc, but I'm sure this is, I'm sure these are a bunch of fans combined in one.
Yeah.
And that 4th verse, dude, just like, damn, man. Like, M's like, I'm just Marshall at the end of the day. This is all work. Like we said last, this is a work, and you're trying to make it a shoot. Like, bro, I'm just doing this for entertainment. And it's like, we could kick it, but I just need you to get your shit together. And,
no, it's,
and Kevin, think about it. His name was you.
Yeah.
Damn, what a man. Yeah,
good shit.
That was
good shit. Yeah.
This is kind of when I was thinking, like, we have a fucking banger on our hands, man. And the next song is another Dre and Mailman. Who knew?
Right. Who knew?
Gosh, I don't do black music. I don't do white music. I make fight music for high school kids. Put lives at risk when I drive like this. This is Eminem in his bag. This is one of those. I'll never forget it.
As I was listening, I was thinking he created pockets I didn't even know existed with his rhyme flow. This rhyme pattern is so crazy, and it's that like 9-10 bars in a row, all rhyming. Same word, same rhyme pattern, rhyme word, everything, and ridiculous, dude. It's crazy.
Take drugs, let's make fun of gay clothes, man, who wear makeup, get to wear wake up, get a sense like that pocket is crazy.
Yeah.
What he's funny is super probably outdated now. We probably can't laugh on it until 2025. But the shit is like, this is crazy.
It's funny because I listened and I was thinking, damn, like how is somebody immature and mature at the same time? Like he's talking about, dealings of fame and dealing with, people coming into your life that you don't even know, and all this stuff, fans and everything. But he's doing it with just these crazy analogies and shit and saying wild stuff. It's hard to explain, like being all these different things at one time and making it work. Not everybody can do that, man.
100%, man. It's like it just I remember the line on here too. I just looked at it after I got to being harassed every fucking night. Ike, you drop me these this Ike Turner, so much easier. I have a life of 19 million. You just like me, and
crazy. And once again, the beats. It fits so perfect with the rhyme pattern and everything. It's fantastic shit.
And it's like when he's battling this whole. Columbine just happened like maybe in the April. I don't know why I knew April of '99, but it just watched a documentary the other day with my wife. It was April of '99. So this dropped maybe, let's see here. Where do we say this dropped? In May of 2000. So less than a year. And I think he got a lot of I think him and Marilyn Manson got a lot of hit for their lyrics and their songs about.
And he talks about Marilyn Manson in the next song. So,
yeah, man. So
and it was, it's funny, like, we see things going on in the world right now, and there's always got to be a scapegoat. But like, it's for some reason, like they chose music when there's video games and there's movies, like
and parents.
And we've talked about this before. Like, for whatever reason, a music artist is held to this standard where everything they say must be true. Mm-hmm. But, they don't hold like Schwarzenegger true, to that standard. Like, he's got to be, whatever he's saying, he's got to be true. Yeah. Whatever he's doing in Predator, it must be real. He must be out there shooting aliens and shit. Like, it's just such a weird thing.
It's always a workman and everything else besides hip-hop.
Hip-hop. But just music in general, because Marilyn Manson was getting the same treatment. All the punk rock dudes, they all got the same treatment. Like, just because they said it on wax, sometimes they're just telling a story, way an author's writing a story in a book, or, a director's doing it on film. At the end of the day, part of it, at least, it's just a story, man.
And this is just plain devil's advocate. I'm always with the artists. They should say whatever they want. But is there a sense of responsibility that somebody at this platform has to have? Because they know that maybe this is 2000. I don't know. I wasn't one of those kids, but there are kids who gravitate towards the words and say, "Fuck, this is the way out. This is how he deals with his pain." Nope. And God, and like he says in here, he's talking about, you're blaming me for, and he makes jokes about somebody stealing his two. What the hell are those two trench coats and 11 Max? Like, he has lines for that, but it's kind of making a mockery of I'm responsible for your children's actions,
right? And it can go both ways. And I think to me, because I had parents who were involved and constantly teaching me stuff, and I was a parent, like, to me, I'm always like, well, yeah, the parent should do it. But other situations don't have that, Not all kids had that parent or those figures in their life. So, they're looking for it from somebody else. And if you watch the documentary, you can see that. Like, people are looking for somebody to grab onto and latch onto and associate with. And so it's hard to say, because I'm one that's going to say, I put it on the people who were raising these kids.
Yeah.
But if these kids don't have anybody raising them, then fuck it. Yeah, maybe he does have some of that responsibility. We were just talking about it before. Like, hero worship is a thing, man, that I have a lot of issue with. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird. Like, people are like, "Oh, that's my idol," and it's somebody you've never even met or talked to. Mm-hmm. Like, I can understand looking up to somebody for their talent and enjoying watching them play a sport or rap or act or whatever. But for them to be like, "That's my idol," you don't know who they are as a person. To me, that's kind of strange, but I also don't exist in a world where I'm constantly looking for that. Like, I didn't have to go far to look for that. I had parents and cousins and uncles and coaches and those people in my life. So, it's hard for me to say at the end of the day.
Yeah, I remember being a Tupac stan. I realized what the fuck he stood for. I'm like, a bunch of these rapper guys was like, "Oh, you beat your wife. Damn, I could never can't look at you the same. We can separate the music from the man, but it's like, it's not." But social media has done that too. I think that's another thing too.
I mean, we're constantly, not just social media, just we have all the world's information in our hand at all times, man. Like, I'm just listening to a podcast on the way over here, and they were talking about everybody talks about how our world is just this horrible place right now, and it's never been this bad. And they were like, or did we just not know it was this bad the time? Like, and they, not to nerd out on some history stuff, guys, but they were talking about the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like, do you really think, like, if social media was around, it wouldn't be the same way during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like they were literally pointing missiles at countries.
They were telling kids to get under their table. You would be okay. Like,
and if we had social media, like it would have been a shitstorm. The kind of like the way shit is now. So is it that we just have more access to it, or is it worse? Like,
would the government have gone away with killing Kennedy?
Yeah.
With all the phones out. We don't know. Zapruder got a frame cut and nick with that.
Right.
Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started.
That's right. You saw the little cigarette burns. And the changes.
Right? There's somebody, you heard about the driver theory?
Mm-mm.
Oh, God. We'll put a bonus episode.
We'll
get stuck on this one. Okay. The Way I Am. That first verse is beautiful.
Man. So the whole song's on pocket.
Yeah, it's I sit back with this pack of zigzags and this bag of this weed. It gives me shit needed to be the most meanest MC on this earth. And since birth, I've been cursed with this curse. Just curse. Like,
damn.
You can't, and it's rhyming, ladies and gentlemen, but there's a story with the rhymes and just blurt this berserk and bizarre shit that works and it sells and it helps itself to relieve all this tension, dispensing these sentences, getting the stress that's been eating me recently off this chest, and I rest again peacefully. But at least if you have the decency and you leave me alone, like, and that's what he talks about. I don't want to be Mr. NSYNC. I don't want to be the one you love and want to come up to fuck you type of thing. And if you tempt me, my temp's on empty. No patience is in me. If you offend me, I'm lifting you 10 feet. I always love the music video when they put him in court. Right. I never see Eminem in a suit. Like, this is some real shit.
Yeah. He wasn't in giant sweats and Jordan 3s.
God, right. What a great.
Yeah.
This is one of those things too. I think if you're rapping, you got to listen to the way his breath control is and the way his voice. Again, that voice of anger. And it's not a shouting voice. It's just he changes his voice, that serious tone. And I love it, man.
And it's funny because that eventually got him knocked because that turned into the accents and the voices and all that stuff. Because that just gradually grew more and more where it went from him just changing his tone to him changing his entire voice. But like just putting words. So there's rappers who can put words together. I think it's somebody like Ghostface.
Yeah, for sure.
Ghostface is amazing at just putting words together. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it doesn't mean shit what he's saying, it's just off the wall. There's people who can tell stories, but the ability to tell these stories while using these complex rhyme patterns and it all makes sense. That's what separates the greats from the really goods, man. And this song,
and this what separates the greats from the greats too.
Yes,
there's
absolutely.
A lot of greats on here who can never do this, and that's when I know a lot of people. Eminem, just like this whole Jim Jones Nas shit. I don't hear Jim Jones. I don't hear Nas in the club. You know what? But these guys got bars that, if you really care about this culture of MCing and hip hop, like. And they blame it on Maryland and the heroin and where were the parents at and look where it's at, middle America. Now it's a tragedy. Now it's so sad to see. And he's really, the social commentary that he has is fucking, again, you have to be, and I remember this, I was just 10 years old, but I still remember at the time, everything was happening. People were getting killed all the time in the inner city.
Yes.
Young kids were killing people in the inner city, which is still something relevant. I think Chicago had 53 people shot this weekend, right? And Labor Day weekend, it's always a high count for that. But then once it's middle America, when these kids start shooting kids, it's like,
in Colorado, all of a sudden
now it's
an issue.
And it's damn it should be an issue. As long we're associated with what we're associated with, it would be a damn issue, right?
Right.
But it's just the social media, the social commentary on this is spot on.
I have these discussions all the time too, and not to make it always about race or anything, but with Eminem, like his race comes up. It's just how it is. But there's always these different perspectives, and I always see it like with our basketball team. I always tell everybody we've coached 5 years and coached one white girl.
For sure.
In the 5 years we've been there, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And so when girls that maybe a program on the west side of town are passionate and they're fiery and they love the game, when our girls are like that, they're the angry black kids. You know what I mean? It's the same behavior a lot of times. It's just seen in a different way because it's spoken differently, or it comes from two people who look different. And I see it a lot. We both see it a lot, and it's it's just reflective. But like we're trying to say, it's reflective in everything in life, from music to basketball to politics to whatever. Like it's wild just how that And a lot of it is inherent. It's not something that people even know they're doing. It just is what it is, man. It's crazy.
It's like that first verse is really him saying, I don't like fame. I don't want you near me. That second verse is like, bro, I have a hit song, and now I get blamed for everything that's going wrong in the world. And that third verse is really like, yo, as a hip hop guy, like I can't top these hits that you guys I just dropped, like, and I'm not gonna be able to top what my name is and pigeonhole me to a poppy sensation, to cop me rotation and rap. Oh my god. And I just don't have the patience to deal with these Caucasians who think I'm some wiggle who just tries to be black and make all this stuff we say is like
it's all relevant.
It's crazy to think like, man, he was really going through it. And that shit really did fuel him and really made him the MC that we love, man.
And I think a song like this too, it also goes to create those quote unquote stands. Like people who are looking for that person to idolize, they see what he goes through and they see like, I can relate to that. Like, and it's usually people who are misunderstood or whatever, and they have a hard time making friends, social awkward, whatever it is. And so they latch onto this and they're like, he's just like me because he's going through shit that I've gone through. And they make it such a connection that it goes beyond just fandom. Yeah, for sure. And a song like this really does it because he's going through shit that, you can put it in a context of a teenage kid going through, not being accepted by the cool kids or whatever, and then getting blamed because the way they act is different. And, the parents not understanding them. And it's like the relatability and how deep my head starts going into a song like that, because it speaks so much more on just everyday culture and life more than just the music itself. It's crazy, but that I see like that's how stands are created. Yeah, no, that's how these people who are like, he knows me, he's talking directly to me, and those people become like, I know what kind of car he drives, and I know his address, and
I know exactly what he's thinking.
Wild shit, yeah. When he waved at the crowd of 50,000 people, he was waving at me.
Damn, that is some stand shit. No, that's not healthy. It can't be healthy, right,
dude? Quick little tangent story. My first ever concert was not intended for me to be there. It was New Kids on the Block. Oh, okay. So my best friend growing up, his sister won tickets. So his sister won 2 tickets. Her and her best friend went. Me, him, and his dad went to drop her off. It was at Dodger Stadium. We went and hung out, did some shit, came back. Turns out the show started like 2 hours late.
Oh yeah.
So me and my buddy Sean were throwing a football around in the parking lot at Dodger Stadium, and this dude comes walking up. And now looking back on it, he was like a legit pimp. He's wearing like the fur coat. He had like 3 girls on each arm. Oh yeah. And we're throwing the football around. And he did like throw me the ball. We're throwing the ball, boys in the hood thing. We throw it back, and he's like, "You guys come here." So we go over, talk to him, and he's like, "You guys going to the show?" We're like, "Nah," and we tell him the story. Whips out 2 tickets, gives it to us. So we walk into a second deck, Dodger Stadium, New Kids on the Block concert. But what this reminds me of, there was a girl, we're in the second deck, Dodger Stadium. They're playing like in the outfield, and they did like some kind of wave thing. And a teenage girl was like, he waved at me, and damn near fainted, dude. Oh, shit. And I saw that shit like at 12 years old. And I was like, this is wild, and I've heard about Beatlemania and shit, but
Michaelmania, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's real shit. Like I've really seen it, and I was like, he wasn't waving at you.
No, it was not.
Like he was just dancing, but that thought process, man, and it starts young apparently. So
no, they know what they're doing. Poppy sensation.
Yes, absolutely.
100%. All right, dude. The next song we have on this list is The Real. Slim Shady, Please Stand Up. And just look at some notes here. K Solo had a song called Will This Real Solo Please Stand Up?
I did not. I wasn't aware.
I did not know he mimicked. That's what it says here. He got it off K Solo's Real Solo Please Stand Up. Everybody's a mimic. Everything has to be. That's just the way it is in hip hop.
Well, and with him though, it may just be like an homage. The dude has always paid respect to the history of hip hop. So it could be more of an homage than a rip, but you never know.
I believe this was the lead single. It wouldn't make any sense if it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Talk about introducing him to another. How do you say this? Like there was another. Man, how do I say this, dude? Like, because I think Eminem was already that mainstream sensation. Right. There's just another level to it, dude. Of popular.
Took it to a whole no. Like it went from like, oh, he's on the radio to like, oh, he's on MTV to like, oh, he's like on all the late night talk shows to like, oh, he's on fucking Good Morning America, like that type of stuff. Like, like he was at that point where he was being introduced to like parents and grandparents at this point. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of those, everybody in America knows who this dude is. Like, it was beyond just a hip hop artist, beyond just an artist. He was like an entity. Like, he was this thing. What I always thought was cool about songs like Real Slim Shady, and he did it with, I think he has one of these on damn near every album, but he took this wild shit that he was saying and put it on such a poppy, digestible beat. And it was the Dre did this.
Dre Mailman, dude. Dre Mailman.
Like, they made a beat that, you know, that you could be playing like in the grocery store, but just let him go wild and say whatever he wanted to say. And he's saying wild shit because he that was his thing back then. And I don't even know if people realized the shit he was saying because it was such a catchy beat.
Yeah, man, dude. No, he got away with saying some crazy shit. Like, at the time, too, pop culture was Tommy and Pam. That was the first couple of America. And he talking shit about feminists and how it's cool for Tom Green to be on TV. Right. And I remember that, dude. He was fucking humping dead animals.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, that's okay, but I can't do that. I can't do what I do.
And what I thought was cool, too, is like, you know, he's always been labeled as this homophobic, you know, and yeah, he says wild shit about gay people, gay acts, whatever. But he also in this song advocates for gay marriage. And to me, it's always been like, if he truly was homophobic and all that, like, he would never advocate for it.
Definitely,
so to me, that has always said like, yeah, he's saying shit for shock value and saying shit just to get a rise out of people, because at the end of the day, that shit sold records.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you know, he was an artist trying to sell records.
Definitely.
You know, so, but yeah, he would say some crazy shit.
Will Smith was not his favorite person either, bro. That was the fucking hot line when he said that. You know, Will Smith ain't got a cousin who raps sell records, but I do, so fuck him and fuck you too.
Damn.
You think I give a damn about a Grammy? Oh my God, yeah, dude. And he know how to get his name in the paper, man. He's dissing Britney, Christina, you know, talking about she's knocking over Durst and my guy Carson.
Right.
This was a very creative way to get into this shit.
It was very strategic. He went at people who he knew were not going to go back at him. And thinking about it now, I wonder if these people like were hoping for him to go at him because it just gave them attention. Yeah, you know what I mean? It helped sell their records and shit. And yeah, he's saying wild shit, but at the end of the day, it was so wild that nobody like actually believed it. Yeah, nobody was taking him serious. It was like it was a funny thing, you know. And you know, say what you will about a weird sense of humor. You know, my sense of humor is a little off the wall at times, so I get it.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, he's just putting it on wax. You know what I mean? And but at the end of the day, he puts words together so creatively that he could say whatever he wants, and people are still rocking with it.
Pinching nurse's ass when I'm jacking off with Jergens, and I'm jerking, but this whole bag of Viagra isn't working. Like, dude, he's some crazy. But the hook, hook was that's what you want your songs to be, catchy. Yeah. Everybody could relate to it, and it was damn near. That's a great radio single. That's what makes a great radio single.
If that song comes on now, like that hook is embedded in my brain for days.
And it's people have told me players at their wedding. People still get down to this, and I'm like, it's not to me. It's not a 1-2 step song, but people love it, bro. People still love it.
And then this created like one of the, you know, at the time there was no such thing as a viral moment, but if there was, this would have been it. When he did the MTV Movie Awards or Music Awards,
the VMAs,
the VMAs, and you know, there's 100 dudes. Bleach blonde hair, white t-shirt and jeans, and they all come walking down the aisle, dude, and all of a sudden, like, there's 100 Slim Shadys on the stage. It was, I mean, chills right now, dude, because the VMAs used to be a thing.
For
like,
sure.
That was must-see TV, and, you know, everybody's on the couch Sunday night and talking about it the next day.
Blonde hair, wife beater, Levi's.
Yep. And there's just so many of them, and he's just like them, and you know, the words fit, you know, the act fit the words, you know, the everything just synced so well, man. And it was a viral moment before there was viral moments.
No, for sure, man. That was and that's, I think he won so many awards off of this too. That was the song. Next one, dude, this is when I text you like, man, what a fucking album. Remember Me, something so different from what we've got in the last 6-7 songs. RBX and Sticky Fingers is on here, and dude, I love what they said on here, man. People tend to forget about these songs, and
for me, there was a reason to forget it.
What did you like on it?
It seemed out of place.
Yes,
I've never been an RBX fan.
Okay,
I like rhythm in a flow.
He has none.
And none whatsoever.
He has none.
And I love his voice. So this is the first time I ever made this connection, but he sounds like a West Coast Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
Like same tone in his voice, same, kind of inflections and stuff, which that part I was, oh, that's cool. Like that was actually cool. I don't hate the song. It seems out of place on this album.
It is for sure.
It sounds like it should be on 2001.
Yes.
And maybe it was a leftover
of that.
2001 beat and they threw it on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a bad song, just out of place for me on this record. But
I love Sticky Fingers' verse though, man.
yeah.
Like
no, Sticky's dope. Dude.
Sticky says he's really on some the vet is ahead of his shit. It's all redder. You deader than dead. A medic instead of the cheddars and credit. Seattle Vendetta with Metal Beretta from ghetto to ghetto. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy, bro.
Like while I was listening to this song, I realized how much influence Sticky Fingers had on his style. And I don't know if you want to say he bit a lot of it, but a lot of that style is very heavily influenced by Sticky Fingers.
And he says, "To the cops cuff us, gonna start ruckus and drop blockbusters, round the clock hustlers. You cannot touch us." Like that stuff. That 100%. You could see M was really on his third verse. Like he's trying to compete with these two cats. With RBX, like I said, I was kind of like, maybe he just got some Dre love and shit, right? But him and Sticky go at it in this one, man.
And he also appeared on a Sticky Fingers album around this time.
Okay.
Oh God, it was a song about well, there's a couple of them, but one was called "What If I Was White."
Yeah.
And so Sticky Fingers raps about what his life would be like if he was white, and raps about his life what it would be like if he was black.
Ooh, I did check.
It was an awesome song. There was also a song in the Sticky Fingers album where he's in court and like Rod Digger's in it, Busta's in it, but they all play different characters. Like Busta's the judge, Rod Digger's like the prosecutor. I think Redman's in it. He's like the bailiff. But they all rap from their perspective. It was I forget the name of the album.
Check this. This is where you get here at.
It was a Sticky Fingers album that was so creative, man. But had some dope features.
Eminem's verse is just crazy, man. Like I won't go through the whole thing, but this is the part I want to talk about when you talk about the Columbine shit. But my baby's mom, bitch, made me an angry blonde, so I made a song, killed her, and put Haley on. I may be wrong, but I keep thinking these crazy thoughts in my cranium, but I'm stuck with a crazy mom. Came home and somebody must have broken my back window and stole 2 lean machine guns and both my trench coats. Sick dreams of picnic scenes, 2 kids 16s with M16s and 10 clips each. Like, oh my God, dude.
Damn.
Like, he's really talking shit about these kids. Horrible tragedy, but
absolutely.
God,
but
the way he said it was crazy.
It was also like, Crosby, Stills, and Nash sang about school shootings, the Kent State riots, Bob Dylan sang about stuff like that. They just did it in a different way that was more accepted by mainstream. Mm-hmm. He's doing the same shit. He's just doing it in a much more graphic way.
Yeah, for sure.
And doing it in a way that made people uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
But he was doing the same thing at the end of the day. He was spotlighting this horrible thing that happened and talking about it. And because it's not like he's celebrating it.
No, not at all.
No, he's talking about fuck these kids at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, it's just, taking what people have done in the past, but doing it in your own way and doing it in your own way that it scares the shit out of people.
Dude, that shit was like, that's a great verse. Another Eminem verse that's kind of forgotten about, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of like that, when Jay does like, I got 22, that.
20,
that's what
22 twos.
Yeah, that's kind of where I think, that's where I see the influence come in. Next I'll go straight into, which I love. Another thing we could talk about too is the formula of this and just the way it's structured goes right into Who's Back. Yep. And this is kind of what Slim Shady is, kind of like on his peak. This is where I think it hits a peak for sure. Yep. I mutter and rhyme one word at a time. He never heard of minds, perverted his mind.
The Dre beats. This is when like it hit me like fucking like Dre made classic beats on this shit that get overlooked because it's Slim doing Slim shit, which is just
it overshadows it a little bit,
making rhymes that are ridiculous. But Dre's beats, like I think some of his best beats might be on this album.
Yeah, for sure. This is him and Mailman, dude.
Yeah, and Mailman's always been that unsung dude. We talked about it on 2001.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think we talked about too. Mike Elizondo was a dude who worked all over M's albums and
bass lines and shit.
Yeah, and then he from there worked with Dre on most of Dre's albums from that point on, and all the shit Dre did.
Mm-hmm. I used to give a fuck now, and I used to give a fuck less. We do have success. It sucks too much press. I'm stressed too much zest, depressed too upset. It's just too much mess. I guess I might just blew up quick. And like, dude, how the fuck did you come up with this, dog? And become a commodity because I'm some WHITE because she's playing into the I'm white. I know I'm white. I'm going to use my to my advantage.
He's never hid from that. He's never said like, you know, while he's never apologized for it, he's never been like, I made this, you know, he totally understands what being white has given him. And I think that's probably why he's been so accepted by hip hop that, you know, he has said that I get it, you know, but he's also used it to promote other people. He's used it to further hip hop culture, you know.
Definitely.
What was it? Some hip hop Hall of Fame or something like that. And his entire speech was just shouting out old school rappers.
Everybody. Yeah.
You know, dudes like G-Rap, dudes like, you know, Melly Mel, dudes, people probably didn't even know about, Schoolie D, things like that. And like he was shouting them out because he's always paid homage to the culture while acknowledging like, you know, I got privileges that those people didn't get.
Yeah, for sure. Because I guess this is something I'm sure we would have talked about anyway. Is Eminem as big as he is if he was black?
I don't know.
Or is he another red man?
I don't know. And that's a great question. And honestly, probably not because he wouldn't be seen as talented. He just wouldn't have got his foot in the same doors.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been a Dre artist.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Or and not even just that. Even if he had been, he wouldn't have been on TRL. He wouldn't have been on MTV. He wouldn't have been, you know, maybe not gotten the 8 Mile deal. You know, all these things that made him
just
big.
Watched yesterday.
Such a good movie. Like for him to be a good actor too, like it's kind of crazy.
And that like it was really his only major scene, his major movie role.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But I've heard that question asked many times, and I don't know if his talent would be overlooked, but I think he just wouldn't have had the opportunities.
I think in the word again, this whole second verse is great, man. It's very it's out there, but he really spits some great stuff. And the verse 3 again, I take 7 kids from Columbine, send them on in line at an AK-47, a revolver, a 9, and like, oh, dude, this is just it was uncomfortable at sometimes to listen to because like, man, you see like what just happened last week, you know, and these things are still happening in America. Just at this time, it's like we're blaming this. And he's kind of making a mockery of you guys are blaming me, like he comes with some dope rhymes to describe his experience, man, and it'll be Jennifer Lopez and Puffy. You know this. I'm sorry, Puff, but I don't give a fuck. The chick was her own mother. I'm still fucking with no rapper.
That was wild. Yeah, that line, like it caused some pause. I was like, oh,
I have a son and a new brother at the same time, and saying that it ain't mine. Like, whoa.
Yeah, that was wild. And it's funny because shit like that is why, you know, my wife's not a big Eminem fan because he just goes so far over the line. You know, like I cross the line all the time when I say shit, but there's shit that even makes me like, oh damn. You know what I mean? And I can see why people just wouldn't want to hear that shit.
That's the thing.
And so it's not for everybody. And I think that also keeps him from being like truly crowned as that dude in hip hop because the hip hop community is uncomfortable with a lot of that shit that he says. You know what I mean? So they're like, God damn, you know, I don't know if I can rock with that.
Yeah, no, it's very.
But he says it. He says it in such a way, dude, and puts it in such a rhyme pattern that is so fucking dope. Yeah, even though he's talking wild shit, it's so dope.
I think the next one, the Marshall Mathers, is kind of we go behind the curtain a little bit here, man. And one of my favorite songs he's ever done, dude. Yeah. And I just think like the way we could go over the rhymes, but the story he's telling here, and you know, I always say looking for biggest killers, dressing ridiculous, blue and red, like I don't see what the big deal is. He's kind of telling you where he stands in this whole state of hip hop,
right?
Like he's talking about people, you know, he's anti, Backstreet and Ricky Martin. Doesn't fuck with NSYNC, but he's pissed off because, you know, it says right here, watching all these chimp imitations get rich off them. Yep. A lot of people made money off that whole persona that Big and Pac had afterwards, you know? And
absolutely.
It's like, this is what's going on. This is when Ja Rule had to put it on me. This is when DMX came out. This is when Jay's popping, Nelly's popping, me, M, Pimp Juice, and us. Like, this was that time. And it's crazy,
I think
man.
all that, just talking about another, I'm sure an album we'll talk about down the road. All of that went into creating what 50 Cent became.
Yes, for sure.
You know, they always talk shit about, you know, how he talked shit about Ja Rule singing and everything. 50 was singing.
Yes, he was.
50 sang most of his own hooks, you know what I mean? If you want to really look at it that way. But he created such a personality behind it that it was more accepted. But I think all this shit went into making 50. I think he took pieces from all these dudes.
And he killed my guy. Why you gotta do my guy Silent J like that? Claim Detroit, y'all live 20 miles away, and I don't wrestle. I'm not fucking back the fuck out.
Dude, he took Insane Clown Posse and just, I mean, destroyed them. Destroyed them. I was like, damn.
And I don't need help with D12 to beat up two females in makeup who try to scratch you with lead nails. Slim Anus. You're damn right, Slim Anus. Oh my God.
So it's funny because as, you know, you start seeing the formula, like, he only went at people that probably weren't going to come back at him.
100%.
And it's funny because I always thought it was weird, but it kind of put him on this different level of stardom. And it's like, once again, going way too in depth and trying to think how he was thinking. And I don't even know, maybe it was a subliminal thing. Like, it was like kids who get bullied find somebody else that they can bully.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, you know, like the nerdy kid found somebody below him that he could go after, so he became the bully. You know what I mean? Because none of these, what was fucking Justin Timberlake and NSYNC going to make a diss record going back at him? No, and he knew that.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, and not saying that he wouldn't go at somebody, because everybody who ever came at him, he went back and destroyed.
And the man, you know what? I think it's business too. Because what was NSYNC and Backstreet Boys? Those records were crazy too.
Dude, those things are selling like 10 million records.
Yeah, man. You know this is a whole nother. Again, this is a whole nother area of fame and just being popular in the pop culture, dude. He knew what he was doing, dude.
Yeah, and I just always wonder, like, did he do it like intentionally? Was it just like a subliminal thing, like, okay, I've been bullied, now I've become the bully kind of thing, or was it just like, let's have some fun? Like, I'm always interested in that because I think way too much about shit.
And dude, just the way he's dissing his mom too. Like, I can't even probably say half the stuff.
Oh yeah.
But for every million I make, another relative sues. Family fighting and fussing. Who wants to invite me over to supper? Now my son got 9 cousins. Like, he's really, this fame shit sucks.
Yeah, and that whole, and it's in every song.
Double XL. Like,
yes.
You put on for a lot of people. Shit, dude, it's awesome.
And like, I think that goes into why it was named the Marshall Mathers LP. It was like, I am a person. And I'm dealing with real shit, and and he's freely admitting, I don't know how to deal with it. He's saying, like, sometimes I'm angry about it. Sometimes I'm taking advantage of it. Sometimes, like, I'm doing bad shit because of it. Sometimes I'm getting perks that nobody else can get because of it. And it's wild. And he's open about all of it.
Definitely. Man, I need to get some AC. We're back in here, though. We need to get some AC in this damn pod, man.
I lose weight when we're in.
Damn, I feel like
it's good. This is my...
I don't like the way my body smells against leather. You feel me? Good God. Are we going to talk about kink and Nif?
I hope not.
Okay.
We can pass on that.
What the hell was that about? What the fuck is he thinking?
It's just shock value, dude. It really is at a time when, like, people were pushing boundaries that now probably wouldn't be considered boundaries. But back then, like, it's shit that nobody would. In hip-hop, talking about something like that in hip hop didn't happen. Yeah, he's pushing boundaries to see what can I get away with, what can I not. And it's funny because the skits in here kind of talk about that. Like, his record label people be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Yeah. But at the end of the day, they knew that shit's going to sell us more records. Keep doing it. You know what I mean? So, the skits were something else.
How did you feel about Drug Ballad?
I get it. Like, back then, you had to have at least one of all kinds of songs on the album. Like, the albums had to be complete albums for the record label to really take it and be satisfied with it. I always liked the beat. I always thought it was just like a fun beat. Yeah. It's a song about doing a lot of drugs.
Yeah, man.
It's at the time when I was probably partaking in things a lot more. Yes, for sure. It was probably a lot more fun and relatable. Now it's just like, oh yeah, like, it's like listening to an old 70s LSD trip song. You know 100%. What I mean? That's kind of kind of an older thing that,
I like the rhymes he says on here.
Yeah.
In third grade, all you used to do was sniff goo through a tube and play Rubik's Cube. 17 years later, I'm rude as Jude. Cool shit. I've never been interested in the song. Not gonna lie.
No, and it's just one of those that I'm sure there's a fan base for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's people who love this song. I'm sure there's somebody who this is their favorite song on the album. It's just, it is what it is. It's not bad. It's not great.
Yeah, I never really cared for it. How about Amityville?
This is two wild dudes trying to out-wild each other.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'm not gonna lie, I listened to it the first time, get it. The second time, I was a little uncomfortable listening to some of this shit.
Yeah, dude,
like it's wild.
You talk about fucking Lenny, his sister getting knocked down by 10 guys and fucking.
So
yeah,
after that song, I kind of started thinking, for the nostalgia of it all, I love this album. But if it came out today, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Just the subject matter and some of the shit that, I get it. Like, you're just going to keep going at these little pop stars and stuff. If, a current rapper was doing that to Taylor Swift and half their album was talking shit about Taylor Swift, it probably wouldn't go over.
They would turn their back on them so fast.
Yeah. And it's just because it's not just a different time. Like me at 20 whatever when this album came out compared to me at 47, at 47, I'm like, all right, I get it, man. Let's move on.
And you see why Bizarre was always stuck in this hole. This is where he got cornered into that shock fun rap. I could never take a Bizarre giving me some life through changes or something that's serious. Bizarre put himself in that corner,
his name is Bizarre. Mm-hmm. He's telling you exactly what he is. And like I said, I get it. I get what they were doing. I get the
huge placement for him, though. I get it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
huge placement for Bizarre.
That's and we'll see it coming up. Am took care of his guys, man.
Oh yeah,
sure. he always put his people on.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I don't even know if they deserved it or not or what the case was, but he was like, these people helped me get to where I'm at. I'm not gonna not take them with me
for sure. And we see Dre bringing his guys too.
Yes.
A little West Coast and on the West Coast. It's essentially a West Coast album with Bitch Please 2.
Yes.
One of my favorite beats ever, man. Yes. Great beat.
That line. One of Dre's best beats ever.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so good, man. So good. And this was a time when a song was kind of certified a banger when it got the Posse Cut remix.
Yes.
That was kind of the thing. If it deserved the Posse Cut remix, then it was a banger. Benjamin's did that. Bitch Please did it. Whoa had a Posse Cut. All of them when a bunch of dudes just want to get on and spit because the song is that good.
This is like a Snoop song too, man. Yeah. Snoop's all over this one. Yeah. This is definitely Snoop's song, and we hear Dre on it. Dre's doing his thing. This would fit perfectly on 2001. It's a continuation of that.
And it's funny because here I am. We're just talking about how shock rap and kind of went out. But the way M started his verse, oh no, big Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
6-inch dog, 30-pound balls. Oh fuck, I just always cracked up, man.
Hell yeah.
But yeah.
Let me see, what is that?
Snoop, M, fucking Dre, Exhibit.
What the fuck is that Eminem verse at though? Exhibit came crazy.
He's one of those dudes that's always kind of been what happened? Because he had a run there, man. Relentless to me is
Restless.
Restless. I mean, it's like an all-time West Coast classic.
The Man vs. Machine.
Man vs. Machine.
What was it?
And then everything just kind of slipped. I don't know. He was too busy pimping rides. I don't know. Man. He became, he's the one that became a household star too. He was on MTV and everybody but people know him for Pimp My Ride more than they know him for music at this point.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know.
He released an album recently though that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm a Dre stan. Yeah. Sorry, I want to listen to whatever him and T.Y. Dollar Sign got some cool stuff on there. No, I don't know, man. I don't know what. Maybe just that was for him. He was for that era. You know what I mean? Just maybe he was like hate to say the Corrupt version because Corrupt had that early '90s features on lock, and Exhibit had some great features in the late 2000s. Right. And here it is. Yeah, that fourth verse. Give me the mic and let me recite to Timothy Wright. Pickets outside the Interscope offices every night. What if he's around? He's making shit. He's making fun of Timmy. Yeah, I didn't even notice that till right now. Timothy White. Good Lord, what a name from the past, bro.
Wow.
But he's doing what he's supposed to do on this song. Says some crazy stuff. I can't say on it, but it's so funny.
No, it's wild.
He says some funny shit on here. Come back and shoot the club up with a fofo. I love that shit, man.
You know what's funny is that all the wild shit he has said so far, I don't know if we've gotten to the wildest yet.
No, we have not. No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Which is crazy.
Could not ever so dream that song. But yeah, Nate Dogg blesses it. Love the beat. Love all this. Next song is Kim.
Wow.
Which is different from Amityville and what the hell is on Bizarre? Or no, Drug Ballad. This was different, man. But damn, it was. This
was intense.
Yeah, man.
This was intense.
How do you record something like this?
Yes, it was. I think to understand that kind of pain. Like I've never, I've experienced some bad breakups. I've experienced some shit, but to experience a pain where you just want to let it out in this way is something I've never been hurt that bad. I don't know if I could be hurt that bad.
Those old, you could tell was ahead of his time. Yes. A lot of emo rappers use that. So long, bitch, you did me so. Yep. I've always loved that. That was always the catchiest thing. But damn, dude, like. This is a song of him basically killing his wife and just fucking
ex-wife,
or abusing her. And right now, this would be definitely some abusive shit, man.
Yes, and listening to it younger, didn't have the same feeling about it then because I was like, oh yeah, like it's kind of funny. He's killing his wife. Now I'm listening to it like, damn.
They were both gaslighting each other, and
it was
fucking crazy. By pitting this kid in the middle.
Yes,
of them,
and that's like, kind of what made me most uncomfortable is that he's got like using the daughter as a pawn in the game. Was wild. Yeah. It's wild. It's uncomfortable. It's out there, but at the same time, like it was such a fucking right turn, like a hard right turn for hip hop. Like to go this route and for it to be on an album that's selling 10 million records is crazy. Like, cause it's just introducing this shit to a whole nother audience that, Brother Lynch never sold like that,
Yeah, dude, this is crazy.
Like, and for those of you who don't know, Brother Lynch is from Sacramento. It's from up in the Bay. And like one of his most popular songs is called Return of the Baby Killer. Like that ought to tell you everything you need to know about this dude. He sings some wild shit. But it was never exposed to that big of an audience. He has a very niche, fan base where this guy has like worldwide access to people. And so that's what made it like the highest crazy.
He's the highest selling hip hop artist of all time.
And I would imagine he's got to be in the discussion for highest selling artist of all time.
No,
I'm sure he's got to be up there. So just to have that kind of shit exposed to such a wide audience, it was crazy back then.
Yeah, man, and he wrote this before the 97 Bonnie and Clyde. So he had the song in the tank for a while. Yeah, it's supposed to be a prequel to that Bonnie and Clyde off the I guess it's Slim Shady LP. Yeah. But he said, according to this, he wrote this when there was a song called "Searching" on Infinite. That he wrote that around then, which is crazy though. Maybe he just wrote it and had a better sound to it.
Yeah. It's interesting, but I also see where there are people who connected to that.
Fuck, dude.
And there's people who have those toxic relationships that are like that, and they related to it, and that's kind of where I said like those stands, like people who see him as I'm so fucked up, but this guy is fucked up too.
And he gets me.
And I can relate to it, and he gets me, and it puts a connection like at a whole nother level that creates crazy fans, man. It's wild.
That's God, nasty. Fuck. Under the Influence. It's not as bad as like Hail Mary or something when it popped out all his homies and put on some classic shit. I was bumping this when I was a kid too. I probably couldn't get away with it, but I play Let's Get High and Ain't No Fun every weekend, so it can't be as bad as this shit, because they were high.
The beat was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
My God, that beat.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say wasted, but like the fact that he just threw his boys on a beat this fucking crazy and this good was, I'm like, damn, dude.
He spits 2 pills I popped to my people sweat like 2 pennies on Clint Eastwood in his mid-20s, like. Yeah, he had some shit. Always, Swifty came out with some shit. They all,
dude, like these dudes were all, like you went on. Denon ended up being like a go-to producer for a while. You know what I mean? And
sure.
you know, they've all talked about what Proof was to them, that he was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he was putting on, completely whack dudes, but it's just that beat, man. God,
who was Mr. Porter's name on here?
And Swifty McBain.
Is it Swifty McBain?
Yeah, I think so.
Shit, it
Pretty
is Swifty, huh?
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah,
Bizarre became probably the star of that one for some reason. And Proof, of course, rest in peace, Proof. But Proof has a great verse on here too, man.
Yeah, no, Proof is a rapper.
Yeah,
no, Proof had there was his album Searching for Something.
Searching for Jerry Garcia.
There we go, man. Searching for Jerry Garcia.
Well, and that shit wasn't even finished. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that's me and Jesse. So my guy Jesse, shout out to my guy Jesse. That was he used to hate me at poker. Then we started talking about rap, and I'm like, well, he's like, what about Proof Sound? I'm like, Searching for Jerry Garcia. You know that shit, like, dude. There's some songs on that that are crazy.
Yeah.
Eerie, crazy.
No, yeah, they and Insane Clown Posse is from Detroit too.
Yeah.
So there's something about that area that produces some, there's an art that's a little dark.
Yeah,
obviously,
yes.
So
and then they produced the Black Milks of the world with Slum Village, right?
Yep. Yep, Dilla. Yeah, Dilla's a Detroit cat.
Detroit guy, dude. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to D12. They made they had some great albums too. Yep. Maybe not great, but they had some hits on some albums that went platinum.
Purple Pills was a joint.
Damn, dog.
I used to sing that all the time.
My band was a crazy.
On the highest mountain. I've been there wasn't twice, but who's counting?
That was M led, dude. M's kind of like 50. M gave some hits away.
Yeah, for sure.
The last song on the album, one of my favorites, man. Yes. Criminal. Right. My words are a dagger like a jagged edge. You'll stab me in the head while you're a faggotless. Homosexual or math or transvest. Pants and dress. Hate fags? The answer is yes.
He just said wild shit. And like I said, the fact that he was advocating for gay marriage in one song and then says this shit. Yeah, dude. Like it's so all over the place. Like it's hard to take it serious. It's horrible as far as like hate.
It's horrible to say, but the way he puts these patterns.
Yes.
What the fuck is he? This is crazy.
And it's funny because for people who really hate Eminem for the shit he says, it's hard to explain to them. But did you hear how he said it?
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? And I think that's something that only like real deal hip hop heads can appreciate.
Preacher, fifth grade teacher. You can't reach me. My mom can't neither.
So he had my favorite line on the entire album is on this song. And it's such a self-awareness that he has, because essentially the song is like, you criminalize me for making music. Like you're making me this horrible person because I make music and because I say things that you don't like in my music. But it says, I'm a criminal, an animal cage who turned crazy. How the fuck's supposed to grow up when you weren't raised?
Man.
Like I told Melissa, I was listening to it last night and I told her and she's like, damn, that's deep.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Like it's in that bar right there kind of wraps up who he is. Like, yeah, I'm crazy, but fuck, nobody taught me any better.
Yeah, what you supposed to do?
He had to learn it on his own.
Talks about the president getting dome skis in the office. Let's see here. Yeah, man, I think that's I love the skit. Right, he's going, and then windows 10 in my ride when I drive, and that just goes to a whole nother level of the way he was his aggression. Yep. And I've always loved that third verse too, man.
Yeah, it's this one, that song right there, kind of gave me more of a glimpse at what we'd see later with Eminem. With, like I said, that self-awareness, that knowing that I am kind of a fuck up. You know what I mean? Sure. And maybe I shouldn't be looked up to, and I shouldn't have these people idolizing me. And then eventually grew into, damn, I better take this shit seriously because those fans aren't going anywhere. And this fame isn't going anywhere. And maybe I should adapt how I handle it. But that song just was a glimpse of that to me. And that line, dude, it just stuck with me, man. And, how the fuck am I supposed to grow up when I wasn't raised? Damn.
If I ever give a fuck, I shave my nuts, tuck my dick in between my pants, my legs, and cluck. I'll never forget that line. My mom and dad used to hate that shit.
I'm sure most mom and dads hated that shit.
Oh my god, I'll be a fucking rapist in a Jason mask. I'm a criminal.
Wow.
And the hook was so beautiful, bro. Crazy shit we're listening to. But this is peak Eminem. This is what made me a bigger fan than I was, and it solidified what he was. This is his peak, man. This is the Eminem show, but I would choose this over Eminem show any day.
Right.
Right. D, what was your favorite beat on this album?
Favorite beat. I'm going. No. I'm going with. Damn. I think it might be Under the Influence.
Oh, okay.
I think that so with albums like this, like I almost take Stan out of the mix because Stan is like it's probably my favorite everything on the album. You know what I mean? But it's almost like a too easy of an answer. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with no, take that back. The Way I Am.
I was about to say The Way I Am.
The Way I Am.
Yeah, The Way I Am could be definitely. I could say I'm Back, The Way I Am, or maybe even The Real Slim Shady. One of those three for sure.
Yep.
Favorite song on this album?
Favorite song is Stan. And if it's not Stan, then it's The Way I Am.
The Way I Am is gonna always take it from me.
Stan is just god damn. There's just the creativity is and mind you, the creativity back then. People hear it now and be like, yeah, people do that all the time. They weren't doing it before M did it.
6 minutes and 44 seconds long too, bro.
Damn.
Hell of a long
As a
song.
single. And had an extended video.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Crazy.
Great shit. At this time too, people have to forget. During this time, Elton John going on stage with Eminem solidified that he was not a homophobe.
Yeah.
He backed the gay community.
And I think artists recognize art.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And artists recognize sure, Elton John sang a lot of shit that he didn't necessarily mean or experience or go through. And art is art. And while it may not be your art, at the end of the day, it's art for art's sake. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And
it's, you can't just take everybody at, and I say it all the time. I don't know why music gets put in that hole and nothing else does. But, American History X is an amazing movie.
Yes.
I never once believed that Edward Norton was a racist, as a Nazi racist.
Who's his brother? Edward Norton.
Edward Furlong.
They said the same. They think they're both Edwards,
huh?
Okay, yeah, Furlong. Yeah, I never thought Edward Norton was a. Yeah,
like never once did I believe 100%. That those people are actual Nazis. But for some reason, like musicians don't get that same pass. So it's always been interesting to me. But yeah.
And you wanted to rate albums. What are we going to give this album? What's the rating?
Well, we got to come up with the Source had 5 mics. Like we need to come up with something before we just start throwing ratings out there. Like,
okay, so
what's it going to be? Something, the Source had 5 mics. The Double XL had their sizes.
Give it 3 hats.
1 out of 3 hats. So if we're going 5 hats, then
okay,
we're going 5 hats.
That's cool too. We can do that.
Okay, we'll go 5 hats.
Okay.
This is 4.75 hats.
Okay.
4.75. The only thing to me, Amityville. For me, if it has any skips, can't be a full 5.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just how I am. Amityville, I would take out. I can deal with drug ballad, and I like Remember Me. I just feel so out of place here for me. To keep it from being perfect.
If it was up to me, I'm putting Remember Me towards the end.
That might work. If it was at the end, it would be easier for me to digest.
And I want to probably take out Amityville and Drug Ballad and just put Remember Me towards the end and put it make before Criminal, so Criminal could be.
So for me, I'm going 4.75 hats.
I'll put it 4 hats.
4 hats.
4 hats is cool.
Yeah, maybe 4.5. Maybe 4.5. Yeah, three songs that I could do without probably keeps it from being.
Yeah, I like Sticky. That's why I like Sticky Fingers verse. Just to hear
absolutely.
Him and Eminem had a good back and forth. So I'll take 4 hats. Take 4.5 hats. We'll have to put that in somehow.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But also people cannot overlook Dre's production.
Yeah, for sure.
Dre and Mailman, they killed the production in this whole album.
Dre mixes most of the album too. It's crazy.
It really does get overlooked. And to say that just tells you how badass of a rapper Eminem is that he made Dr. Dre beats get overlooked.
100%.
Wow.
Well, this is a great album, and I'm glad we knocked it out.
Yes,
that is the Marshall Mathers LP for episode 171. Next week, we're going up to one of your favorites, bro. Illmatic Nas. I know you're going to love this.
Guys.
I can't wait. Wait.
You're about to see Donez turn into a stand next week.
Hey, man. We're going to be QB in the building, bro. So we'll get that 170. Whatever episode it is, we're going to do the number 12. What's in the deck will be with Nas Illmatic. I'm DJ EC3.
Tony Donez here, guys.
And we out.